After reviewing the 4 to 5 different readings for Module 4, the article that stood out to me the most and I was able to connect with was Andy Hargreaves' article on leadership succession. We have had a full year of transition here at my school in the last year. Our previous principal had been the principal here for 5 years, and prior to that, he was an athletic director here and also was a teacher on our staff. And so he was embedded in our school community, had been here for a long time. He retired, and at the same time, our curriculum and instruction AP retired as well, and she also had been with the district for 29 years and was just a staple in our school. And so with both of those admin retiring, we also earned a growth position for an additional assistant principal this year, and so there was lots of transition. One of our assistant principals transitioned to the principal role. I transitioned to the role of curriculum and instruction AP, and then we hired 2 new assistant principals to fill one of the other previous roles, and then a growth position. So lots of roles and responsibilities were shifted on our team. It was definitely a full year of transition, but one of the things that made it a little bit more manageable was the succession plan established by our district. And so a few of the obstacles that were listed were ones I kind of wanted to speak through, just because I felt like some of those we did really well, and then there were a couple of ones that we could continue to work on for improvement. I do believe that the succession plan was well planned. There was a 6-month transition phase for the new principal to work alongside our retiring principal. And so we all shifted roles to accommodate for that on our team. While he was able to sit in meetings and work through the day-to-day responsibilities and routines. And then the last month of school, while our previous principal did participate in graduation ceremonies and all of that, he was able to sit in as the residing principal for the last month, and then had the previous principal there for support as he made that full transition. My transition was a little bit different. I did get to sit and observe and work through lots of big projects with her in the spring, but we really didn't have as much time to transition just because of the other roles and responsibilities that had transferred over. So this past year, she served as a mentor for me. She retired and went 50% for the district, working in our support services department. And so she would come over monthly with me and work through all of the major projects, all of the major things that happened, including master schedule this summer, to help me navigate and figure out what was the most important and how to approach it in a timely fashion, and just to make sure all of the details were taken care of. I do feel like our transitions were managed well, not just planned well, but managed well. There were lots of key points, key touch points with both the previous principal and the assistant principal, but that's pretty much the way that it happens in any major position. We have our career specialist that retired this year as well. We will contract her out for 15 days and able to, so that she can transition with the new career specialist coming into our guidance department. And that's to ensure that all of those details are taking place, and that that new person has some wiggle room to be able to figure out exactly how she wants to do things on her own, but also to have the support that she needs. It talked about how a challenge could be that succession is often on the wrong frequency. That was not the case with us, and it was a reminder for me just to make sure that to stay the course. You know, lots of times we may walk into a position we feel unprepared, or just that we're not necessarily the one for the job, but if we stay with it and we look back, we really want time in place so that the things that we're the most passionate about can become our legacies. And for me, it's really putting data-driven instruction and PLCs in place at our high school in a way that really elevates student learning. And so that's something that I have a passion for and a need at our school. And so I want to make sure that I give it enough time to make that come to fruition. I have seen the carousel of principal rotations happen with assistant principals, not really with principals, but with assistant principals that has happened. But so far has worked out to our benefit, because we do feel like right now in the district we have everybody in the right seat on the bus. And so I think the biggest thing is that transitions are emotional for both the person leaving and for the new hire. And so making sure that the transition is smooth and works for both parties is really important.